Yo, what is going on, everybody? So, welcome to a brand new episode of the Sports Talk Podcast with Robert and Tyler. Obviously, he's your host, Robert, and my good buddy Tyler. And for
What
those
up? What up?
who've seen this show before, we have a recurring guest, good old buddy Miles. What is going on, Miles?
Nothing much. I'm super excited to start the pod.
Yeah, man. Welcome
Alright,
back to
man.
the show, man. It's really good to have you back.
Yeah.
But obviously, for the first topic we want, obviously, I want to get into is the Eagles' impressive win over the Denver Broncos. The 30-13 victory.
All right. My take on this is the coach is doing a lot better than he did in the first half of the season.
Absolutely.
For sure. In the beginning of the season, we saw it. He refused to run the ball, call running plays. He did it the last few weeks, and they've resulted in 2 wins.
Absolutely. And like
Two.
the first, and you can see, I mean, now, like the last 3 games that they actually incorporate I might be wrong on that, but the last 3 games that they incorporate more running plays, they're 2-1 in their last 3 games when running the football. And we kind of saw that. But I just kind of feel like, look, I mean, Jordan Howard, man, still a beast the way that he is. Boston Scott, man, coming out of the woodworks. It's like, I mean, Jalen Hurts actually, when staying in the pocket, it's just like he's a different quarterback than what we've seen. Then we have Devontae Smith going up for a 50-50 ball too, like over Pat Surtain, like probably one of the guys we wanted in the draft. It's like, okay, I see you. But yeah, I mean, it's just like we really needed this to, try to get back into the contention of things.
Right.
So with the Eagles 3-week stretch, I think Sirianni has definitely learned. He's definitely improved. I mean, Sirianni's just done an overall better job. Like you said before, he's incorporating the run game more, and it's resulted in more wins. And I mean, he's rookie. I don't think you should have expected a lot out of this team. But I mean, they're playing better, and now they're technically in the playoff hunt. So, who knows?
What is going on, Blue City? It's good to see you. But yeah, I mean, it's just like there's a lot to really learn from. It's like the fact that he's actually letting Jalen Hurts stay in the pocket, and actually kind of get the throws that he really what he wants. Despite the fact Quez Walker should have catch that long bomb to him. It's like how that. I mean, look. I mean, I feel like it's a rarity that for Quez Watkins to drop something like that. I mean, which is kind of a rarity for him. But yeah, I mean, I can't be too harsh on it. So it's like, look, everybody drops it. I mean, like you can't. I mean, it's already in the second year, and it's really has shown a lot of what he can do, which I wish we could have seen a lot more if earlier in the year, which kind of annoys the crap out of me. But obviously, we're talking about the Eagles. I mean, look, I mean, Denver's decent to some extent. I mean, Teddy Bridgewater is meh. I mean, Slay, on the other hand, I feel that was just a difference maker. It's like taking 82 yards to the house. And then you guys see Teddy Bridgewater give it on. It's like, what are you doing? It's like, you should know better not to give up on the play. But that's kind of how I see things.
Next up on the docket, we have the NFL Week 11 predictions.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to bring this up on screen. I forgot to open up another tab, so bear with me on the lordy. All right. Okay. Let's share my. Okay, we're going to share the screen whenever that wants to hurt. Okay. Obviously, about the Patriots obviously beating the Falcons, no surprise. First game for Sunday, November 21st. Saints versus our Philadelphia Eagles.
This is going to be a true test for Philly. If Philly does what they have done the last 3 weeks, we've got this game.
That's very true. Plus, for those, also they don't have their three best players out. They have their three best players out.
Yeah, so we should.
Which I think the Eagles.
So we should be okay.
Yeah, plus Trevor Siemian is not that great of a quarterback, anyways, despite the fact.
Not that great.
Okay.
Not that great. He ain't even good.
Yeah.
So I think this is a very winnable game for the Eagles. Like you said before, I think this will be the true test whether they're a team in the playoff picture. I mean, they obviously need to run more, and if they just incorporate some of their young people more, I think their defense has been solid enough to, be in the hunt. I think the Saints will win, but I don't think it'll be a shocker if the Eagles win.
Right.
Absolutely. And that's another thing, too. But, by the way, before we go further, both Avonte Maddox and Dallas Goedert have signed their contract extensions, which, honestly,
let me tell you something about that one, Rob. Dallas Goedert more than deserves it. Avonte Maddox doesn't really deserve it. He's been inconsistent.
They already gave Maddox a 3-year extension, so we're stuck with him for the next 3 seasons.
Great, more inconsistencies at cornerback or safety.
Then again, we also that's the thing too. Like Ryan McLeod's leaving after the season, so who knows if we're going to bring him back? But had to get that in there. But to go on with our predictions, I think this is probably self-explanatory. I'm going to go with the Dolphins over the Jets.
Yeah. The Jets are just, not the team at all. I don't even think they are a team.
No, they're not.
Absolutely not. We got the Washington football team against the Carolina Panthers.
Cam's resurgence in Carolina, I'm going to have to go with Carolina here.
I want to go with Carolina because after coming full circle with Cam, yeah, and that's the thing too. It's like and that's crazy too. That the fact that who would have thought Cam Newton would make his return back to Carolina?
I really didn't think it would happen. Look, at that point when I think the 4 interception game made it inevitable that was going to happen from the backup quarterback Mike White. But I'm thinking. You
mean Sam Darnold? You mean for the Carolina?
No, Mike White had a shitty game. The 4 interception one from last week, not last week.
Yeah, and now they're starting Flacco over Mike White because of that.
They don't have dude. Carolina does not have Flacco.
No, I'm talking about.
Oh, Mike White's for the
Jets.
Okay. Darnold is the guy.
Yeah.
Darnold sucks. But the thing is, no one thought that he would be
like
in Carolina again. They probably were thinking about getting another okay quarterback, but I think he was the only okay quarterback on the market. So
yeah, and the way that he played, it looks like his 2015 self and the way that he played. And it's just like, and I'm not going to lie, man, he was actually pretty solid for Carolina for a good chunk of his career.
From 2011 to 2015, or from 2011 to 2016, he was pretty good.
Yeah, but then also the injuries kind of hampered him too, which sucks though.
Injuries took him out. They depleted the line, which hurt him even more.
Yeah.
His receiving core basically quit on him.
That's for sure. But now we have someone like Robbie Anderson, probably when you're who are the other wideouts. But I know they have some weapons that Cam Newton can use at his disposal. Plus, I think a decent offensive line to help him hopefully to stay healthy.
Yeah.
I think overall, if Carolina can, at least, other than our Eagles, hopefully try to make the playoffs. I think Carolina hopefully can actually can be a playoff team under Cam Newton again. I mean,
Yeah, that's if Cam can consistently be competent. Because there's some times where he's inconsistent. One day he's good, one day he's bad.
Absolutely. Now we go. I think this is an easy one. Colts or Bills?
Honestly, it's not easy.
I'm going to go.
Wentz is playing a lot better than he did in Philly his last year.
Absolutely.
The Bills are the Bills. They're really good. To me, this is a toss-up game.
I'm going to go with the Bills on this one.
Part of me wants to go against the Colts because of Wentz not being here anymore, but I'm going to have to go with the Colts.
Yeah, I think the Colts will win. Wentz has been better, which pains me to say. I hate Wentz, but
dude, it pained me. It pained me to see it too. I'm like, where was this last year?
Yeah, but yeah, I think the Colts are gonna come out on top. I think it's gonna be a close game though. Good game to watch.
Absolutely. Browns or Lions?
Browns.
That's definitely
self-explanatory. There's no reason why. The record speaks for itself. The Browns.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's another thing too. It's like, yeah, I mean, I think, yeah, I mean, it's like you said, it's self-explanatory. Like the Browns, I mean, they got some good pieces around them. Detroit, God knows who. I mean, you could put like the average Joe in there in football pads, like to play for them. Like they you know how bad that is.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Miles?
Sorry, what was the game?
Lions are away at the Browns.
Oh yeah, the Browns for sure. I think that's self-explanatory.
We had the 49ers against the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Two really bad teams. But I think the 49ers are slightly better, so I'm going with the 49ers.
I'm going to go with the Niners.
Yep, the Niners.
I mean, they got some good, decent pieces on that team. But the problem with the 49ers that I might see, because they've been dealing a lot with the injury bug on that team
for the last couple seasons, man.
Which, if they're healthy, man, who knows? I mean, that's a dominant team right there in the West. Like that's hands down. But obviously, with the injury bug that's been going on with the 49ers like the last couple of seasons, like Jimmy G, I'm not saying he's not great, but he's an okay quarterback for most teams. I mean,
to me, I think Jimmy G kind of regressed a bit.
Yeah.
If you look at his play this year, he's making some errant throws, and he's costed a couple games with that.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I still think he's decent. I still see a pretty solid player in him.
I think any team who needs a quarterback can actually do, because if I know the 49ers, I know they're trying to get rid of Jimmy G and have Trey Lance as their answer at quarterback. But I mean, it's only time will tell with that. We got the Houston Texans or the Tennessee Titans.
I'm going to go with the Titans.
I'm going to go with Titans.
Titans are what, 8-2?
They're 8-2.
Yeah, they're 8-2. And the Texans have been depleted for the last few seasons, thanks to Bill O'Brien. They're trying to build that back up.
Yeah, and I think that I mean I know and this is the thing too. Like the big blow that the Tennessee Titans have had was Derrick Henry, and I'll be honest, man. The fact that you brought in someone like Adrian Peterson, God, how which shocks me so. How the hell, how someone like him is still lasting in the league in the leagues?
Yeah, because his play had regressed too. That's why he was out of the league for a couple seasons.
Yeah, then gets picked up on the practice squad by the Lions, and now he gets traded to or gets signs a deal with Tennessee, which hopefully they can bring back the Adrian Peterson of old. Obviously, because I'll be honest, man. I think Derrick Henry was about to run away with the MVP. The way that the numbers he's been putting up this year.
For sure. For
And I was
sure.
like, God damn! It's like everybody says to me, he's a human man in cheat code. It's like it's just like you can carry like 15 people on his back and it still won't slow him down.
Hell, even you said human Madden cheat code. He actually is a cheat code Madden, so it's like,
I mean, exactly. That's what it is.
yeah, dude.
But yeah, let's see. What about you, Miles?
Yeah, I got the Titans for this game. I think the Titans are a very solid team. They're a very good team. I could see them winning the Super Bowl this year just based on how they're playing.
Hot take.
That's a very hot take. I mean,
Ooh.
yeah. Well, I mean,
Scorcher.
Miles is known for hot takes. I mean,
Ooh,
Yeah.
he's calling a shot right now. All right.
Mm-hmm.
all right. So we got another 1:00 game on Fox. The Green Bay Packers or the Minnesota Vikings? I'm going to go with the Packers.
Packers.
Yeah.
Minnesota, it's like a city. I know you're. I'm going to say this. Minnesota is pretty much a city full of disappointment.
My God.
The Twins for
You
shit.
know how many playoff upsets this team has had?
Probably a lot.
They've had a few missed field goals in the 90s. Then 2017, they got demoralized in the NFC Championship game. Then they're missing the playoffs.
And then we kicked their ass. We kicked
their ass that year. But they've always had playoff heartbreak or regular season heartbreak. They've never been over the hump.
Now, my question to you guys is: do you think Mike Zimmer's going to be on the hot seat for the Minnesota Vikings?
Oh, for sure. He should have been on the hot seat after last season.
Yeah, I think he's gone. Honestly,
because
the Vikings are terrible. The Vikings suck.
Because when was the last time any good players that the Vikings had? I mean, you had like some like Randy Moss, Dante Culpepper, Adrian Peterson, because I know he played and that's the thing. Just like Kirk Cousins ain't it for them. I mean, he's okay to say the least, but I feel like even when the Vikings signed Kirk Cousins, man, I swear to God, they overpaid for Kirk Cousins. Like he is not worth that much with what the Vikings paid him. Absolutely not. It's just like
even when he initially got signed, that deal, fans are scratching their heads as to why they paid him that much money. Because look at him in Washington. Just okay.
Exactly.
He was not good. He was not the greatest. He was just okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like now, and like we said, Minnesota has, no matter what sports team that they have for that city, they're full of disappointment. You got the Vikings, you had the Timberwolves, who might turn around in the next couple of years or so. So I mean, I'll give the Timberwolves a pass so far. But right now, I think the Vikings and the Twins are the only two sports teams in Minnesota are full of disappointments.
Right.
But I mean, the way that the Packers have been, obviously, I mean, Aaron Rodgers is going to be Aaron Rodgers, and you got Devontae Adams, which it's crazy like how long. I mean, that duo has been like just like recipe for success for them.
Right.
And I mean, was it Matt? No, Matt Rule's with the
Matt Rule's with Carolina.
Carolina. Okay. Who's the coach of Green Bay now?
Fuck.
The
young dude. The young coach.
Oh, I don't even know his name. That's probably starting to piss me off. But
I don't know.
Anyways, thoughts, Miles?
Yeah. I don't know. I think this is gonna be a boring game.
Yeah.
Much that. They're just two teams, I think.
Next game we got is the 6-3 Ravens against the 3-6 Chicago Bears.
I'm gonna have to give it to the Ravens. They did have a bad game. They did have a bad game last game. But I think they'll bounce back from it against the Bears. If they don't, they'll be in trouble.
Sorry, Gooley, but man, my buddy Gooley, who's a huge Chicago Bears fan, and like he's like in like a pit of misery with this team. and the way that they're going about it. Like, I mean, like I try not to say anything about the Bears, but everyone's just like, yeah. I mean, I try to be more respectful about it, but and I kind of agree with where goalie like this team, like the team is so poorly run at this point with the Chicago Bears. Matt Nagy ain't cutting it, and it's like the fact that you have that you. I don't know what the hell's going on over there in Chicago with for the Bears. I don't really have no idea, but the way, like you said, Tyler, like despite the Ravens having a bad game, I mean they're going to easily bounce back. But despite the fact you let go probably a good running back in Le'Veon Bell, which why the hell would you do that? Like, despite the fact you had two of your best running backs already go down with the same injury, but like it's like I don't know. It's just what I just like. It just boggles my mind about it.
Right.
We got the Bengals and the Raiders, who are both 5-4.
Honestly, this is a toss-up game, and whoever wins this game is making the playoffs. I'm going to have to give it to the Bengals because they have more of a complete roster. The Raiders had to cut a few of their players due to criminal activity,
which is, I mean, that if you got, I already it's like, and that's the thing too. Is like Raiders cannot catch a break. What was going on over there? But I think feel like, and this is what I think too. Like the Bengals just and Tyler, you can attest to this too. We've been critical of their offensive line. Like we should have said, they got to go offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe that's not the case now because their offensive line is. But then again, I kind of feel, and Tyler, I think you said like their O line was banged up last year.
Yeah, they had dealt with a lot of injuries like early last year, and then next thing you know, the line was terrible, and then the quarterback got hurt late in the season.
Oh yeah,
and it was just a mess. But now I think they're moderately better. Their line does have its moments, and that's why they did lose 4 games.
Absolutely.
After that 5-2 start, or 5-1 start. Excuse me.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean that's just too, and the fact that and I gotta say, man, I think Joe Burrow and obviously people now being critical. I was like, huh. I mean, which really screwed up my mock draft because I had Penei Sewell going to the Cincinnati Bengals, but having someone like Jamar Chase who's been an outstanding player for them as a rookie, man, it's starting to show like the I mean we've seen it between him and Burrow at the college level too. Like, I feel like it's just like it's a later down the line. I mean, that's going to be a dangerous deal to pretty much stop.
Right.
Oh, pardon me. I feel this is going to be a close game between the two because Derek Carr is on a whole another level the way that he's been playing. But the problem is, like you said, they don't really have that much to work with there. That's the problem. I mean, their defense is kind of suspect. I know because my buddy Darian and my buddy Hammer and Raider J are huge Raiders fans, but the problem is that they're kind of being very critical of their defense because Leatherwood ain't fucking it's not cutting it with them. Derek Carr could be a potential MVP the way that he's doing playing, but with the situation that's been going on with releasing their potential now the disgraced wide receiver Henry Ruggs III and now Damon Arnett. I mean, I feel this team's probably going to be in shambles.
Yeah,
later down the road.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, they're not going to be good this year.
Yeah,
second half of the season.
I think it's going to be tough for me to see that the Raiders making the playoffs just with all of their roster moves. And like Tyler said, the Bengals have more of a complete roster. And I just can't envision this team now making the playoffs.
Absolutely. It's just like, plus, I mean, Jamar Chase is from what I've been seeing, like he could probably break Justin Jefferson's rookie receiving record I can see that with, like you said, like the Bengals. Yeah, I mean, give credit to where credit's due, man. Zach Taylor is doing a fantastic job out there in Cincinnati. You know, the fact that we've been critical said, look, they have to spend money to get this team, at least get this team better. And obviously now it's showing. You know, I mean, the record speaks for itself. You know, despite that little three game skid, I mean, they've been in some close games. It's like it's not that they've been getting blown out like the last couple of years from what in recent memory. But now we move on to the Cardinals and the Seahawks.
What is going on with the damn Seahawks?
And that is that huge question mark. It's like, what is going over there in Seattle?
I don't know what I like now they're trying to shop Russell Wilson out of there, and they're trying to get rid of all these other players, and injuries are happening, and then so with that said, Cardinals versus the Seahawks, definitely going with the Cardinals.
Absolutely the Cardinals, because that team is just, you know, not having JG Watt, who's you know, I mean, I know this team, that's definitely going to be the team to beat in the postseason, which I doubt most teams will. But then again, you also got, man, it's a huge pain. Now we got freaking sad to see Zach Ertz in Cardinal red, which sucks to living. But I mean, then again, I can't be mad because it's like the Cardinals actually know how to actually use him properly compared to what we been kind of flip flopping him, you know, with him and Goddard the last year or two. But I mean, I'm gonna have to go with the Cardinals, man. Kyler Murray is just something else for the Cardinals, man.
Yeah, I also have the Cardinals. I don't think it's gonna be a close game at all. The Seahawks, like you guys said, are a mess. I mean, shopping Russell Wilson just doesn't make any sense to me.
It's like you would have, it's like you think it is crazy because like all three of us would have never thought, like, there's no way that Russell Wilson would leave Seattle. But the way that things are going over there in Seattle, I mean, kind of just makes sense though.
Yeah.
But it's a weird way to think about it. But it's like, if at first it doesn't make sense, but it does make sense at the same time. But,
yeah, you want him in a winning environment, and right now Seattle is not a winning environment.
Yeah, they're not going to be a contender for say the next couple of years because their defense is absolute trash. I mean, and this is the thing too. Like, they're not and this is the thing too. Is like they don't have, like, they're not the team that we once used to be. You know, with the Legion of Boom, with Cam Chancellor, Marshawn Lynch. You know, players like that's what define the Seahawks.
Mm-hmm.
Since they're no longer there, I mean, the only one that kind of defined it was Russell Wilson. That's pretty much about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, now we go on to the Cowboys and the Chiefs.
I'm going to hate myself for this. I'm going to hate myself as an Eagles fan. I'm going to be unbiased. The Chiefs aren't a good team. I know they won. I know they're in the playoff hunt. They have a good record. But Patrick Mahomes has not played well this year.
Oh, that's for sure.
He's made some errant throws that he shouldn't be making. He's doing way too much. And the Cowboys, on the other hand, are playing fantastic football.
I mean,
fantastic football. So that speaks for itself.
But then
Cowboys are winning this game. If Patrick Mahomes makes the same mistakes he's made all season.
But the last game that he played, I mean, he actually went on a good shooting, well, on a slingshot spree, and
yeah, there's that one game. Yeah, there's that one game. I'm talking about the other games prior to that.
Oh yeah, that's for certain. That's what. But then knowing, and like you said too, like, I mean, I have to go with the Cowboys, but knowing how the Cowboys are at this time of the year, when they know how to crumble, plus some of their players are kind of, and who knows how healthy Dak's going to be, especially coming back since they already rested him back from the calf injury, and we kind of saw that. I mean, Cooper Rush. I mean, the fact that despite the fact we talked about Minnesota, the fact that they lost to a unknown backup is embarrassing. But unfortunately, we have to go with the Cowboys on this, man. It pains Tyler, I know it pains you and me to say it, but
It hurts
try
my
to-
it hurts my heart to even say
But-
that.
But I mean, we're trying to do this without bias, despite the fact we hate the living crap out of the Cowboys. But they're playing actually fantastic football. So I mean, and like in like the last 5 to 10 years, has been us and the Cowboys like going back at it. When it comes, well, I mean, except for 2020, that was for the Washington football team. So that was the only blind spot. But that's here and there. I feel like this is, I'm going to say, yeah, fortunately, I have the good Cowboys, man. It's just like, it sucks, but it is what it is. Steelers and the Chargers.
I'm going to the
Chargers. And here's why. The fact that the Pittsburgh Steelers are so fucking shit. How
you
the
said
fuck
it better,
do
you said it better than what I was going to say. I was going to say that they're totally a dumpster fire.
They're so
Big Ben needs to retire. He doesn't have it anymore.
And the fact you tied with the Detroit Lions of all teams, like
you tied with the fucking Lions, dude.
Oh,
16
that was
literally was 16-16 final score.
Sorry, I had some audio problems.
Oh no, you're good,
man.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
But yeah, like now it's like obviously Ben. I mean, we all know he's already way past his prime.
Oh, way past his prime. Oh my god.
And it sucks too. Like out of that draft class, I mean, you had Big Ben, you had Phillip Rivers, and you had Eli. 2 out of the 3 actually know when it was time to hang it up.
Honestly, you know Eli didn't know when it was time to hang it up because he had a few bad seasons before he retired. He should have retired after that one bad season.
Absolutely. Rivers, we all knew he knew when it was time.
Yeah, Rivers knew when it was time, and he called it quits.
I mean, it sucks. I mean, despite being for a guy who has not won at all, man, it's a shame to see someone like Phillip Rivers to go out the way that he did.
Yeah.
But I mean, Big Ben, that, and if I'm Mike Tomlin, if I'm Mike Tomlin, what am I thinking? Like, do I really want to be?
I think what he's thinking is, I got to keep my head on a swivel because right now I think I'm on the hot seat.
Which I don't think he would be because I think he's been pretty successful over there in Pittsburgh. I mean, yeah, credit to him. I mean, it's still a shitty season for them. I mean, the record, it's not a bad record by any stretch of the means. I mean, they're 5-3-1, but the way that the roster is, it's complete trash. I mean, and it's bad enough. Like their only offense is Najee Harris. Like that's how bad that offense is.
And because of Najee Harris, you're 5-3-1.
Exactly. That's what
he's carrying you. He is carrying you.
It's like that's just embarrassing.
It is.
But Justin Herbert, it's just something else to watch, man. That kid is spectacular for the Chargers.
For sure.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely Chargers. Miles?
Yeah, I got the Chargers. The Steelers have been fine. It's just shocking. Like their roster is not good. I don't know how they've had this type of success.
It's surprising to all 3 of us. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah. Next game, final game for week 11. But this Giants and Buccaneers.
Blue City commented that they were going to get slaughtered by the Buccaneers, and I have to agree with them.
Because it's Tom Brady we're talking about here, man.
It's Tom fucking Brady, and
then
you have a team who's like hit or miss. Sometimes they hit, sometimes they miss. They're inconsistent. By no stretch of the words am I saying the New York Giants are absolutely garbage, because they could be. They're just not consistent. I kind of see them like an 8-8 type team. 8-9.
What, the Giants or the
Nah, the Giants.
You know what? I see both for this.
What's worse, Eagles tie Bengals or Pittsburgh? As an Eagles fan, I'm gonna have to say the Bengals. But the thing is, in terms of being a football fan, with the Bengals, with that tie with the Bengals, that was more of a success than a failure because the Bengals were on the upswing. We were a team that wasn't going to go anywhere, and we hung in there with them.
If I'm not mistaken, that would have been Joe Burrow's rookie year. If I'm not mistaken,
it was his rookie year, and he was lighting us up, but Wentz was lighting them up. So it was like both guys were just duking it out until the end, and it ended up in a tie.
I mean, but I think the most. Yo, what is going on, Slay? What's good? What's good?
So, question time. I know we got a couple questions on here.
Yeah, in the chat.
We have what's your guys' thoughts on Giants wide receiver Kadarius Toney?
I feel like they could have used him a lot more than they should have. Because I don't think he was not that bad of a pick for the Giants, despite the fact, I mean, we did finesse our way. We did finesse our way to get the guy what we wanted, and I don't think Kadarius Toney is not that bad of a player, but it's just like the I don't know, like it's hard to describe.
To me, I think he'll develop into a good player. Do not get me wrong. I'm biased here.
Oh yeah.
And yes, Philly did finesse them to get Devontae Smith, who's made instant impact. But the thing is, who knows?
And this is
who the hell knows if Devontae Smith is peaking and he's on a downswing? Who knows?
Exactly. And that's got to think too. The Giants are a little bit on the upswing too, with the kind of, but hopefully they can actually get a better head coach.
All they really need to happen is their line needs to be shored up.
Saquon needs to stay healthy.
They need more consistency from Daniel Jones. If he is consistent, he could be a good quarterback. I see signs of brilliance from the guy.
Hey, I mean, there's flashes.
There's flashes of brilliance. There's flashes of brilliance with this guy.
Exactly. I mean, it's just like, and the problem, and the only thing the Giants really need to do is get a better head coach, because Joe Judge ain't it for them. And it's plain and simple.
Yeah. Well, we don't have any more questions. If you guys got any questions,
leave us in the
let
chat.
Let us know in the comments for the last few minutes of the podcast.
I mean, we got a lot more to talk about for tonight, man.
Oh yeah, we do. Noah Syndergaard signing.
Actually, no. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about OBJ wanting out of from the Rams. Let's go over that little discussion real quick.
Look, it's a rumor. It is a rumor. He didn't outright say it. It was rumored that he would want out of LA after getting routed by the 49ers. The thing is, it's been a while. I don't think it's gonna be it's gonna be the case. He's staying.
And it's just like there's no way, because it's like he's obviously, because he's still trying to get new to a new. It's a new system he's not accustomed to seeing.
Yeah. So with the media, this is the problem with the media getting this rumor out.
They're trying to twist the narrative.
It's bullcrap.
And that kind of ties into the number 5 for the topics. Like, the 49ers own the Rams. Like, it's like,
I don't know what was up with their defense. I think they got too many guys at cornerback. And the problem is now there's like team chemistry issues on the defensive side of the ball. OBJ more like DBJ. What?
Yeah. Blue Shay, can you explain that? Like, because I have no idea.
Honestly, I think the problem with that was the team chemistry on the defensive side of the ball was out of whack.
Defense.
Next is the topic that I really want to talk about too is Noah Syndergaard is signing with the Angels.
I'll say this much. I mean, now you got AL MVP Shohei Ohtani pretty much leading that step, and then you got Syndergaard. God forbid if he can stay healthy, which I think he can because the way that the
That's what this is what presents a problem.
exactly, and I said this too, like
hold on. Here's why. The Mets, I think, finessed them.
how so?
They got a pick out of this, and they got rid of an injury-prone player.
Actually, that is very true, but
They finessed the hell out of them. And watch, they're not going to do anything with Noah. Noah's going to get hurt maybe like a game in or 5 games in.
But let's say hypothetical, if he stays healthy for the entire year,
hypothetically,
do you think?
Yeah, that's the thing. Hypothetically, if he stays healthy, he could be dominant. But the problem is that he can't.
Because obviously, and if for those, because I talked about it too. Like he had a couple years. He hasn't pitched in a couple of years because of Tommy John, and like
look at the past few seasons, Tommy John. Like
it's like your arm's pretty much fucked up at that point.
Your arm's
done
for, man. Like
yeah, but I mean Syndergaard. So this contract is a mystery because the Angels need all of the pitching they can get, and they got an arm. Was this the right arm to go out if you're the Angels? I don't think so, because Syndergaard, at the most, is going to give you 100 innings. And they need an entire rotation, and they need a couple of bullpen arms. So I don't think they should have gone for Syndergaard. I like the idea that they have, but I think it's too much of a question for them to go after someone like Syndergaard instead of attacking someone at the top of the market like Rodon or Scherzer or Kershaw or someone like that.
Right.
So basically, if for those who have not caught it, he's pretty much saying it's a risk that the Angels are taking a chance on Syndergaard. Because like you said, I mean, there's so many better arms out on the market. Like you said, Rodon, Scherzer, and Kershaw, which I doubt. I'm pretty sure Kershaw's going right back to the Dodgers. There's no way he's leaving LA. Scherzer, there's a possibility. I mean, despite the fact, the problem is though, like you said, Miles, like they need all the arms they can get at this point to really, because the only good guy you can have is Ohtani, and the fact that what he's done, especially this is what we expected to see when he was healthy, almost like who knows, man? This kid, like, it's just like you said. And I thought, like, man, I feel like I didn't say this, but I kind of say this was a little bit of an overpay for a 1-year deal.
Way overpaid, man.
But they got Trout too, and Trout's gonna be healthy for opening day. So
absolutely,
they got 2 people in the rotation now. They got Ohtani and Syndergaard. They need to get someone big.
Yeah, at least have. The best guy I can think they could probably go after is either Scherzer or Rodon. Because Rodon had an excellent season this year with the White Sox.
I think that would be the safest pick for them if they could go out and get Rodon.
Well, and that's the thing too. Rodon's also 29 years old. He's still entering in the prime of his career. We have not seen it. And if we saw Rodon at times, he was inconsistent before this year. And that's plus also injuries played a part of it too. Obviously with the way what the White Sox have done, especially how they turned it around. The best guy that they had. Giolito was a stud for them. So was Michael Kopech. But I think Rodon was like the star for that pitching staff.
Right.
So I'm going with Tyler on this one. It's rather be safe than sorry than have someone get Rodon to be your number 3 to help get that supporting cast in that 5-man rotation.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I think that Rodon is going to get targeted by the Mets and Angels. I think those are the 2 teams that are going to go at it for Rodon. You can obviously see some other teams that are like not competing but could use another arm, like the Rangers, or I don't really know, but a team like the Rangers. But I think that if they can get Rodon and Rodon be the 2nd or 3rd starter in the rotation, I think they can compete and make the playoffs. They just need to re-sign Iglesias and get a couple more bullpen arms.
Right.
And as that too, and also bring back Bundy too. I mean, he was very solid for the Angels this past season too. I mean, why not bring him back for like another year or two? I mean,
Right.
like that
right.
will help you
Yeah.
to help fill out the back half of your rotation. The only thing you're
Mhm.
going to need is a number 5 guy. That's
Yeah,
pretty much
Bun-
what it's.
Bundy's good. He was pitching at the top of their rotation last year, which I don't think he's a top of the rotation guy. I like the Angels re-signing him and he being their 4th or 5th starter. I think that'll be good, but if he is 3 or 2 or something, that's a failed offseason in the starting pitching market.
Right. All right.
Absolutely.
Next up, we got Matt Chapman is traded to the New York Yankees and applies 5-player deal
With Oakland.
Is he?
with Oakland Athletics.
That's from what I heard. That was only like a report. Like the only guy that I think got traded from Oakland is Matt Olson. But I just kind of feel like, I talked about this too yesterday on Between Lines podcast. Yes, I mean, I think this isn't. I mean, I think the Yankees should at least make a move for Matt Chapman because their third base problem is abysmal. It's like Andujar 8 is not the answer over there. I mean, there's a lot of holes. There's a lot of places, things that the Yankees need to fix. Obviously, pitching's one of them. I mean, the fact of the matter is that, like, I'm not a Yankees fan. It still kind of pisses me off. Like, you should have moved on from Aaron Boone after this year.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I think that the Yankees need to trade for Matt Olson just because he's a lefty and he doesn't strike out that much. He's still a strikeout guy, which the Yankees don't necessarily need. But they need. I think they're gonna get Corey Seager. I think they're gonna slot Urshela to third and then have Torres at second and Olson at first. I think that'll be a strong infield for the Yankees.
well, would you
Right.
say there's a possibility that Rizzo might re-sign with the Yankees after the season?
I think that's a possibility. I think the Red Sox are probably going to get Rizzo, but I think that it'll be better for the Yankees if they get Olson than Rizzo, because Rizzo, he's older than Olson, and he's going to get paid like close to $20 million, I think, just because he's that good defensively and he's still a solid bat offensively.
Right.
And Olson still has a couple years of control left. So I think it'll just be better, even with giving up the prospect package to get him. I think they probably will get Olson and not re-sign Rizzo.
Okay.
Well, actually, no. Wait a minute. Because when I actually was live yesterday, they actually did trade for Olson. So I mean, so it looks like they actually do have the. I think they do have. I mean, and that's the thing too. Matt Olson was actually pretty solid this year, or this past season, I should say. And I think too, like right now, who's Boston's first baseman at the moment right now?
No one. I think Bobby Dahlbeck is their current first baseman, and he's
Yeah,
bad.
Bobby Dahlbeck is.
So
I think you know what, I could probably see that's a possible. And like you said, I mean, I think Boston. I know they have a good farm system. I mean, they have some prospects to give up. So maybe you have like a couple prospects here and there for the Yankees in exchange to get someone like Rizzo, who's great offensively and on the defensive side of the baseball.
Right.
So I think he should be a perfect fit for Boston.
Right.
Especially they've been very consistent. Well, not compared to 2020, but in years past before that, they were like they've always been like an above 500 team. My last is the 2020 season.
Right.
By the way, I just like to say Olson hasn't been officially traded.
Really?
That's not. Yeah, he's still in Oakland. He did not officially get traded.
I mean,
could have been a rumor that you saw, man.
Maybe, but it goes into now. That goes in lead to number 8. Eduardo Rodriguez signs with the Tigers. For me, I actually kind of like this pickup by the Tigers. I really do.
I do too.
And here's why. I think the Tigers and the direction that they're going, they got a bright future, man. You got like some outstanding prospects like Spencer Torkelson. You got guys like Casey Mize, uh, Tarek Screwball, Spencer Turner. Who knows, man? That's going to be a pretty good rotation for the Tigers in 2022. And
Yeah.
I'll be honest, that's a very friendly contract that the Detroit Tigers are given at Erod, in my honest opinion. Between 15 to 18 million a year, that's really cheap for someone like Erod.
Yeah, for the Tigers, they definitely needed another arm like this in the rotation. They need a couple bullpen arms, and I'm going to say it again. They need Correa. I think the Tigers will get Correa.
Because that's what that's what Buddy Dante said. Like it makes more sense because who's their current short? I don't know who's their current shortstop, but I know they're going to exactly.
Yeah.
I think
they don't have anyone at shortstop right now.
I think, that's the fact. Plus, also with ties with AJ Hinch too, which at the same time too, with Correa, and that's another thing too. Correa is also a clutch shortstop you can actually have on your team. We saw that in years past. I think Correa might be a better fit for the Tigers because, yes, you got Torkelson coming up very soon for them.
I think he's going to take the place of Miguel Cabrera when he comes up.
Oh, that's for sure, because Miguel Cabrera is pretty much a Hall of Famer at this. At this stage of his career.
He's also washed.
That's the thing too. Cabrera was it's not the same player that he used to be, but this season though, he still produced. Not to the best of expectations, but he still gave you what he could. Was it I don't know how old he's somewhere in his 30s, but
I think he might be 40 now.
Really? Holy shit!
Yeah,
it's because the only time I remember him, and it's crazy, and I still remember this too, but he actually got drafted by the Marlins of all teams. It's like, what? It's like it's crazy now how you look at it. The last, as long as we can remember, but
Mets are finalizing a deal with Billy Epler as their GM.
As their new GM.
Yeah, so I have a take on this, and I obviously hate the Mets because if you're a Philadelphia sports fan and don't hate the Mets,
there's something wrong with you.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
but I like this move as a Phillies fan. I hate it as a Mets fan because Billy Epler, he's handed out some terrible contracts. And people have pointed to his work with Los Angeles as a thing where the owner didn't let him spend any money, which is true. Their owner sucked, but he was with the Yankees before that, and they handed out the Jacoby Ellsbury contract, which was horrible. They handed out a couple other really bad contracts, and he's just never been good as a general manager. And for a team that wants to compete like the New York Mets, this is not the guy that you want.
What's going on, Positive Philly? Absolutely, man. It's just but then again, knowing how the Mets are, the Mets are going to Met. That's short and sweet to the point. It's just that's just how it is. It's just and like you said too, even his time in Los Angeles, God, what was the bad one? Because I can't remember. I can't think of any bad contracts on the top of my head.
Well, Rendon has so far been a bad contract because he got shoulder surgery.
I think he also dealt with he also was out for a hip impingement, if I'm not mistaken, too, later in this season as well, which kind of kept him out for you. So right now, okay, so which does make sense. It's but I think it's just that Angels team, they got a long way to go. Mm-hmm. Not say maybe a couple of years, maybe that's how long I can think that this team can turn it around. But I think over time, us as like you said, us as Phillies fans, we love to see it because he's gonna really screw the Mets up. I know how because we see how bad the Mets are, especially with the front office and the way that they're even ownership too. Before Steve Cohen took over as well. So it is what it is.
Terrible.
Yeah, but that's kind of how it is. And it goes to the nice thing.
What?
Well, yeah, that was my final thought on that one.
Fenway Sports Group buys controlling stake of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
The Penguins. Like, I'm thinking, when I saw this, like, are you serious? Like, I don't know though. Like, I don't know how. At one point I didn't know how to react to it. It's like, because I'm not like a huge hockey person by any stretch of the means, but I absolutely. What I do know is I absolutely hate the Pittsburgh Penguins. That is absolutely for certain.
Yeah. I'm not a hockey guy too, and I don't really know
Like,
anything
that's
about hockey.
All right. Well,
It's
then
just-
we'll just
Yeah,
move
we're gonna
on from this one.
Yeah, because it's
Um,
like it's harder to react to something that how about that.
All right. Well, the last and final topic of the day
Something that
it is something so highly deserving of some love. Someone who's highly deserving of love in Philly sports. That man is Tyrese Maxey.
Oh, I'll say this: the fact that we got him at 21 is that the fact say, oh, he's rated projected 1 through 10, and then fell it right into our laps. It's like, okay, we got something to work with.
Yeah.
Now if we and like the last 4 games, like that from what I saw, like he's averaging 30 points a game, a little bit over 4 rebounds a game, almost 8 assists a game. It's like, what? Like, are you serious right now? Like, did we just really just got lucky on the point guard in the draft? And obviously, it's starting to show. I mean, despite the fact the Sixers did beat Denver, though. I mean, I think Maxey, dropped like 31 points on him, if I'm not mistaken, that night.
Yeah, I think he dropped 31 on him.
I was like, what? It's like, what? It's like, man, if I'm the other teams that were in the draft, it's like, man, I'm pretty sure they're pretty much kicking themselves at this point.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
I have one more thing to add, and this is about the Phillies. So yesterday they made a few minor trades. The person that they got that's, you might have heard of, even though you most likely didn't, Nick Nelson. He was a guy that they got from the Yankees. He's a reliever. He's going to be at the bottom of the 40-man. I don't think he's going to be guaranteed a spot, but he throws hard. You just have no idea where it's going to go, and he's there's a lot of work to do with Nick Nelson, but I think if you can unlock his potential, he's going to be a solid reliever.
Absolutely. And we also got Garrett Stubbs, too, to help with the hopefully the backup kit.
I have like a love-hate relationship with this deal. Because at some point, it's like, yes, we need depth on this team. And this is exactly what they're trying to target right now is depth. But the problem is we need to make the damn playoffs.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been over a decade at this point.
We need some high-end relievers. We need some high-end we need a high-end fifth guy. We need a high-end closer.
Absolutely. Like the one closer, I think
we need work, and we're not doing it. We're just we're just filling out the roster.
Yeah. I think that they're probably gonna wait before they do anything big until the new CBA is finished, because we don't know how baseball is gonna look after this. This is gonna completely change almost everything about the sport. So I think they're kind of waiting it out and not being as aggressive as Dave Nabrowski said they would be, just because of the, the uncertainty of the future of the sport.
I'm really hoping that next year will be the reintegration of the universal DH, because, and I said this too, man, I don't like seeing pitchers getting hurt swinging the bats, because that's not their main focus. That is just like, and I kind of mentioned this too, like.
Another thing too, Rob, abolish the goddamn extra inning rule.
Oh, I forgot about that. Oh my
Just
God,
absolutely abolish that rule.
Because it's like that's a 50-50 if you're a home or away, because like you're pretty much given either a walk-off win or go ahead, depending on the situation. It's like I would rather earn a walk-off than give it, like, at least hand it out too.
Yeah.
And that's another thing too. Like, who knows? Like you said, Miles, like the CBA, I mean, there's a potential, and I been hearing too that there might be a lockout with with the CBA talks,
Mhm.
or try to increase the talks. But like you said, and the look, I get it, they're minor moves, but I feel like we all know what we really need. But the problem is, though, I mean, we still got John Middleton as the owner, so I mean, who knows how much leverage or what Dombrowski can do with spending money.
That greedy asshole needs to let him spend money.
Mhm.
He
What's
completely
going on?
he completely screwed over Klentak by not letting him spend money. Klentak agreed to it like a yes man. He shouldn't be a yes man. I think Dombrowski is going to go, no, I'm spending money regardless, and he's going to go out and spend that money.
Just think about it this way, and we've seen it with, was it the 2006 Tigers, if I'm not mistaken, during his tenure there.
Mhm.
2006
And
Tigers.
we saw
2006 Tigers were
just an absolute firepower of a team that they had.
completely flipped the script in a couple years. Completely.
Exactly.
Because of Dave
Just like, and then
Dombrowski.
Yeah, when
Yeah.
Dave Dombrowski was with the Tigers in 06.
Dave Dombrowski
And
also
then you-
traded for Miguel Cabrera. So
Yeah.
that's another
Yeah.
thing.
Yep.
yeah, exactly.
He
And
makes
the guy who
he
should
makes
build.
he makes quality trades when he needs to. He makes quality trades. He does what he needs to do. He finesses other teams into getting rid of their players. If you allow him to work his magic, I expect this team to
team
be
could look-
better next year.
Absolutely. I mean, it's like, plus we have a couple of guys in the minor leagues like who I think should be. My estimation could be ready at any time, and that
Bryson
one guy's
Stott.
Bryson Stott.
Yep.
Bryson Stott.
And
Yeah.
have you not seen what he has done in the Arizona Fall League?
Oh, you're
You must be
missing out.
living under a rock.
You're missing
Like,
out.
like at one point I was like, schedule was like, okay. I mean, we gotta. But then again, it's like from what the numbers. I mean, obviously, like we said, the minors and the is completely different
Yeah.
than the major leagues.
But you got to think too. Look what he did in spring training.
That's
an MLB team right there.
That's very
And
true. I
he-
forgot it.
Completely lit it up.
I was like, exactly. And this is why I think I don't know, because I was debating. Like, do I think we should keep him down another year to kind of like work on it? I was like, the way that he's been, like you said,
if you're keeping a guy like Didi Gregorius on your roster,
I think just call him up immediately.
call him.
I think
Come
if
on.
they don't sign a big name shortstop, I don't think they will. I think they're gonna roll
No.
with Bryson Stott.
Yeah, that will be the smart move to save money.
Because they have so many different holes and so many different spots where that money could go to, that
Yeah.
I think it'll be smarter just to call up Stott. And if you can't move Didi's contract, because that's a terrible contract,
Absolutely.
I mean, he could be a pretty decent bench bat.
I think this is the thing too. Like, I don't really hate Didi by any stretch of means, but I don't feel like he's. I think he just kind of overstayed his welcome here in Philadelphia. I mean, I just feel like teams that really need a decent, an okay shortstop. I mean, Didi's the kind of player like most teams can grab.
Right.
Maybe I heard from I maybe was it? And this is not. I don't know. That's the thing too. It's like Stott. I mean, it's like the kid is something else, man. It's just like the fact that, like him, the fact that the relationship that he has with Bryce Harper. Speaking of that, man, congrats! I can't say this enough, but congrats to Bryce Harper on his second NL MVP.
Yep.
Yeah,
Like,
honestly, that's the last thing I want to talk about right now. Bryce Harper, man, deserved that shit.
absolutely,
Deserved it.
because like he
And the thing is, though, people were doubting him in the middle of the season. You know what he did? Do you know what he did when he was struggling in July? Didn't make an All-Star team. Do you know what this man did? He bucked up completely.
Just flip
Us
the script.
Yankees fans will take Didi back from
Hey.
you guys. That would
Take
be a
him.
dumb move.
Please take
That
him.
would be a dumb move. Sorry.
Take him.
No.
Give.
Take him. Take him. That would be a dumb move on your part.
Yep.
Take his.
Absolutely.
Take him. We're going to
And
rob
that's
you
the
guys.
other
Take him.
Let's
Absolutely.
take off $15 million.
yeah.
I don't care who we get back.
Just
Get Didi out of this.
give
this
us Judge. Okay.
I
Fair deal.
doubt that's ever.
No, ain't gonna happen. I was just
Well, I
joking.
mean, we got a superstar. We got a superstar in Harper, anyways.
Yeah, we do. But Bryce Harper, he took
Just-
that criticism when he was struggling, and he made it to be like, you know what? I'm gonna be better. Down the
and we-
stretch, he carried the team to a winning record, even though they missed the playoffs. He
for
did
the
that.
first time. Yeah, exactly.
For the
And
first time in 10 years, we had a winning record. You want to know why? Bryce Harper.
And it's funny because he got hit in the face.
He
Like,
did.
Yeah, that too.
I was
He took
watching
it like a
that game
champ.
live. I was
He
watching
ate
that game
he
live,
ate that ball
and it hit him in
square
the
in
face.
the
It's
I
like,
thought his,
it's like
He
thought
went
his
on
nose
turn
was-
and ate that ball right in the nose.
because I'm thinking to myself, like, he's gonna have a broken eye socket. The fact that he had walked, like, that didn't phase him. It's like, how did that not break his eye socket though? That's what it blows me. Like the strength and the toughness that Bryce Harper represents here in Philadelphia. I mean, I feel like probably it's just like he defines Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Just despite and that's the thing too. Like we all know that Philadelphia's a blue collar city. Obviously,
for
with Bryce
sure.
Harper, blue collar background with his dad
Mhm.
being, I think it was an iron or coal worker. I don't know because
I think he worked in the coal mines.
exactly, yeah. And the fact that he comes like just busts his back like almost each and
Yep.
every day is like, and we seen how that molded Bryce Harper into the player he was going to be, and
I feel like that toughness. I feel like you said it best. He embodies Philadelphia because of that toughness. The toughness
Yeah.
that he had to work through the problems that he had in July, that nose injury that he had because of the ball. He took that
and almost
and
carried
it
to almost a
fueled- and it
playoff
fueled-
spot
and it-
in the second
it-
half.
Hold on. It fueled his fire,
Absolutely,
and he went off.
absolutely.
And
And I get it. It's just like it's crazy, but I want to say honestly, like, huge congratulations to Otani too for what he's accomplished to get the AL MVP too.
this man's a special player. Very freaking. We haven't seen something like Otani in 100
Since Babe
years.
Ruth.
Since Babe Ruth.
He's the most talented player I've ever seen play the sport.
It's just
He basically is the most talented player in the sport,
it's just
other than
like,
Babe Ruth.
yeah, it's just like, and the fact and we saw that, and when he made his debut, like, and the statistics that he's been putting up, like, just like the only since he's only the incumbent with Babe Ruth, the only guy who ever has done it in the last 100 years. It's like, okay, I think the Angels might got themselves something special here. It's like,
He had like a 3 ERA and hit like 49 home runs.
and
Like,
even
you
got
don't see that.
He led
exactly.
Here's a stat. I saw the stat on Otani earlier. He led the league in strikeouts and home runs in the same season last year. Like it's crazy.
Like, and that's the thing too. Like when he and I kind of talked about this too. Like when he broke Hideki Matsui's most home runs in the season by a Japanese-born player. Like the fact that Hideki himself has congratulated Otani. Like and Yankees fans would know. I mean, this is why I think Japanese players are a fun breed to watch in the game of baseball. Now
I feel like Japanese baseball players have more heart than any other country.
Absolutely,
They have
and
a lot of heart in their game.
Same with Latin players too, man. Like Latin players are also fun
Latin
to watch
players,
too.
I don't see it as much. Latin players, when they
No,
get to the league, they tend to be a bit more like,
Like-
some of them do get lackadaisical. But when it comes to Japanese players,
But so fundamentally
they play
sound,
their little hearts out, man.
and like,
They play their damn hearts out.
and from what I've been seeing, the Phillies are actually tied to one another a Japanese player that's going to get posted, and he's an outfielder too, who's hit
Yeah.
like 30 plus.
Seiya
much
is the
NPB?
Suzuki. That's his name. And Seiya Suzuki,
Okay.
he's special. I mean, he won like 4 Gold Gloves. And he hit over 300 every single year with like a 400 on base, like 500 slugging. Like, he is special. I don't see the Phillies getting him because the Phillies don't have much of a history with signing Japanese talent. But if they do sign him, they can get him on a cheap deal, and that's a very, very good defensive. You're probably going to stick him in left fielder, and he's
Absolutely.
going to hit like over 20 homers. Like that's a great player.
And that's the thing too. It's just like what and seeing what like you will never see like Japanese players like I think the most I've ever seen like a Japanese player hit was what like not even a little over 10, but we're seeing these guys who are like hitting 30 plus in the MPBs. Like, what in the world are we seeing out of the like back in 2014, like when Ohtani had his when he made his appearance when the MLB was over in Japan for the All-Star series, and then he kind of said like as a hitter, like, he had like over 10 homers and over 40 RBIs. It's like I was like, really? But what we saw this year from Ohtani is just blows.
You can't put words into it because that's
You
how
can't
unreal it is.
Like this is like you can't make this stuff up. You really can't.
This is basically if you had a video game, like a sports video game, on rookie mode.
Exactly.
And just to reply to Blue City's comment about the Yankees' history of signing Japanese players, I'm gonna put this quickly. They're not signing Seiya Suzuki.
I mean, the only because if memory serves me right, they actually had. I think if memory serves me right, I think he had like 2 that have been very successful in that franchise, and that was Hideki and Tanaka. But Tanaka retired from the MLB, but went back to Japan.
Yeah, and their outfield I think is set. Like they might not want to roll with Aaron Hicks, but Seiya Suzuki is a corner outfielder exclusively, and Joey Gallo and Aaron Judge are corner outfielders exclusively. So that doesn't fix their problem in center field.
No.
Yeah, that's very true. Because what's the last time they ever had a good center fielder?
I don't know, because Aaron Hicks was kind of a bust. They
gave him
a bad contract.
I think it was a bad contract. Yeah. And that's another thing too. The Yankees at times can get bad contracts. I mean, the fact that Brad Garner is still lingering around with that team for the last over a decade now with that team.
He's a free agent now, though.
That's like, I mean, I feel like Brett Garner can be successful elsewhere, but the Yankees were just not it with him.
Mm-hmm.
That's just kind of how I see it, because look at it this way: the Yankees have a lot of good talent on that team.
Mm-hmm.
Some that need to cut their losses with, like Sanchez is one of them. Because I feel like as much as I'm not trying to say sound like. I mean, he's not a bad player by any stretch in the means, but I feel like he could have thrived somewhere else. Some of that catching needs. Because I think the guy has been pretty consistent with them was Kyle Hishioka. Pardon me if I'm butchering that last name, because I know I might butcher that. I apologize, but he's been, and another guy I think. And he's been very consistent. Even when they had Austin Romine, I think he was pretty good for them. When was it there? I cannot remember. But I kind of feel like, some team. I feel like Gary Sanchez with the Yankees. I think his time might be up with the Yankees for Gary Sanchez.
Yeah, I see the Yankees either trading him or non-tendering him, because he's what their problem was in 2021. Too many strikeouts. He's going to hit like 20 home runs, but they didn't make it past the wild card, and that was because they had too many players like Gary. And I think there's better catching options for them to get, especially defensively, than Gary. So I think they're probably going to either trade him or just non-tender and release him.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just like Kyle Hishioka, if I'm not mistaken, it was pretty decent defensively.
Yeah, he's a solid defensive player.
So I think, and that's another thing too. I mean, he's also improved offensively, if I'm not mistaken, too, for the Yankees as well. And it's just like, and that's the thing too. Like they also have they also have a good farm system too that they can look into as well. I mean, they have a lot of good prospects. I mean, they have looking up, but I just feel like Hishioka should be the guy that the Yankees should roll with going into 2022. Like you said, unless they find a better replacement for Gary Sanchez, because I don't know. It's like, because I don't know what kind of catchers are good catchers are out there.
No, there's not a lot. I mean, they could trade for like Roberto Perez, but he's pretty old.
Yeah, that's very true, and that's the thing too. But I mean, only time will tell what we're going to see in the off season, and
Yeah.
probably going to cover a lot more. But Miles, man, but thank you for coming on, man. To be
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I thank you for having me.
I mean,
You're welcome, dude.
and we killed it the first time. We definitely did it again.
Oh,
Yeah.
we took this episode out, man. We killed it.
But any final thoughts from you guys before I get the outro going?
I don't have any final thoughts. Do you have any final thoughts, dude?
No, not really.
Okay. Rob, you?
Nothing for me. I mean, so far, I mean, what a show, man. But for those, I mean, thank you for those who stopped by in the chat. You know, Blue City, Positive Philly, Nightings, Buddy Big Play Slay. But yeah, with that out of the way, this is the end of the Sports Talk podcast with Robert and Tyler and special guest Miles. And we are out.
Peace.